Hi Flosstube, welcome back. This is a little Flosstube extra. I had intended on filming this on Sunday right after I filmed my regular Flosstube. Then I cleaned everything up and didn't feel like it. So it didn't happen. Which means, one, I am dressed differently, and two, look, I'm back in front of the murder wall. Those of you who have been with me for a very long time, first of all, congratulations. I don't know if I should say I'm sorry that you've been watching this madness this long, but those of you who have been around a very long time, like from when I first started, remember the murder wall. And I occasionally get comments that people miss it after I moved everything up into the upstairs room. But if I'm going to get these filmed, it's going to have to be during the day. So everybody's around. The upstairs room is in use as a home office at the moment, and kids may be coming tromping through. But I did want to show you guys what I have kitted up for Mania. So I'm going to break this up into at least 2, possibly 3 smaller videos. This one, first of all, Mania plans. My plan for Mania is to start a new project every weekday. So that will be 21 new starts in May. So that's my Mania plan, 21 new starts. I have kitted up 33, 34, 35, somewhere around that range of projects. 10 of them, what I'm going to show you today, are the 10 projects that I will for sure be starting. You will be seeing these as starts in Mania. And then the rest of them, the other 11 slots, I'm going to use a random, like a decision wheel to pick which ones fill out the other 11, but I'll do it during May. And actually I'll use a decision wheel on the for sure starts as well, just to pick which one I start on those given days. So I'll kind of do an every other day. So I'll do a possible start, for sure start, possible start, for sure start. Hope that made sense. It made sense in my head. So let's start with the projects. I'm going to show you everything I have kitted up as for sure starts, the fabric I picked, the floss, all that goodness. So first for sure start I have in this little bendy flip. It fits in there perfect because it's a tiny little project, and the first for sure start, I mean, it might not be the first one I do. You guys get that though, right? But this will be a Mania start, is Without a Mouse by Blackbird Designs. I have picked, it calls for 28 count Kona by R&R, stitched with Blackbird by Classic Colorworks. I have picked this piece of 32 count Cauldron, and I think I got this in Wayside Stitchers D-Stash, I believe. So, I mean, obviously I'm not going to need this whole piece of fabric, but it will go somewhere on this fabric. That is the one thing I haven't done, is I haven't like ironed and cut fabrics. And you know me, sometimes I tend to stitch on projects without cutting the fabric first anyway, but I'm going to use this piece of 32 count Cauldron. And let's see, I don't remember what I pulled for floss. What did I pull? Oh, I do. This is the new Gentle Arts Witching Hour. So it's like a dark brown. This is the one thing about the murder wall. And it's late afternoon, so the sun's coming in sideways. I don't have my light because it's upstairs, so the colors may be a little off. But there you can go. You see, it's like a brownish black. So that's going to be Without a Mouse. Yay! I gotta put all this stuff back, guys. Otherwise, it's gonna be a disaster. And I love these little flips, Floss Buddy flips from Bags Plus for these smaller projects. They fit perfectly. All right, next project is, now I bought some, I'll link Bags Plus in the description box below. I bought a whole bunch of these plastic bags for project bags from Amazon, and then I also got little tags so that I could label what they were, because I now have a whole tote of these bags with projects, and I got both those off Amazon. I'll link them below. So the next project that I have kitted up and I'm gonna do, if I can find the cover sheet, it's in here somewhere. Maybe, perhaps. Nope, that's not it. I might not have a cover sheet. Oh yes, I do. Welcome, Foolish Mortals. I know I had said no seasonal, and I've now shown you 2 seasonal things. I decided that any of my unicorn charts that I had that I managed to pick up, I need to start, because why am I letting unicorn charts sit around? And then this one just went on my foreshore start because, one, when I showed possible Mania starts, so many people said start Welcome Foolish Mortals. Also, I kitted this up a year ago, easily. I mean, kitted up as in I bought the fabric a year ago. So it needs to get started. So I am going to do Welcome Foolish Mortals. And I have a 16 count Ada from Picture This Plus and Phantom. How fantastic is that? And it's, I'm sure, bigger than I need, but I will use some portion of that. Here's the other side. The other side's maybe a little darker. I don't know. I'll figure out where I want it on that. And then I got a couple skeins of the 310 Etoile. So it'll be a little bit sparkly. And I need, ooh, the sparkle's actually showing up there. Nice. So I got a couple skeins of Etoile to do it in. And then I also have, I gotta find it. It's in my DMC box. I forgot to put it in here. For the eyes, I have some glow in the dark. DMC glow in the dark that I bought last year as well for this project. So Welcome Foolish Mortals is start number 2 for Mania. Number 3 is the Primitive Tarot Notions and Needle Book by Wild Violet Cross Stitch. Welcome Foolish Mortals is by Witchy Stitcher on Etsy. This is by Wild Violet Cross Stitch, the Primitive Tarot Notions and Needle Book. And for this, I had some 18, is this 18 count? Yes, it must be. I think she calls for 18 count. See, now I can't even remember. She does. She calls for 18 count Ada. And I had a piece that I had got at, I picked up at Goodwill or Value Village at a thrift store. And it was one of those, like, in a, not even a tube, but like yellowing plastic sleeve. Think yellowing plastic sleeve, ivory Ada that I picked up for $1, and I tea coffee dyed and baked the heck out of it. And look how good it came out. It is going to be so, like, I can't even decide which side where I kind of love this one because it's got some really kind of burnt splotches on it. Can you guys see how good that is? That's going to be perfect for this project. Super excited about that. And I'm going to stitch the whole thing in Classic Colorworks Blackbird. So Classic Colorworks Blackbird on that 18 count Ada that was tea coffee dyed and baked by me. So that's going to be start number 3. Number 4. Which one is this? Ooh, Prairie Schooler Weatherwise. So this is obviously Prairie Schooler chart weatherwise. I'm going to be doing this one. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in morning, sailor take warning. I'm doing this one. I have picked out a 32 count vintage Stormy Night fabric for it. And I believe, is this one of the ones that's printed? Yeah. So that's the plain side. This is the printed side. So this is a, I think it's, is it a Zweigert? Yeah, it's a Zweigert that's printed. So I'm going to be using that. And I'm doing it in the color conversion by Helen D. So this is her color conversion. She has it listed up on her Instagram. So if you want to see up close all of her colors, but I'll show you here. Here are the colors for weatherwise. Pretty good, huh? I'm very excited. So And I just need to figure out where she stitched what colors, but I'm pretty sure I can figure that out. So that is the next for sure start. That was another unicorn chart that I managed to get my hands on. All right, next up is Cross Stitch Nation by Heartstring Samplery. There's Cross Stitch Nation. You all know and love it. I've just really wanted to stitch it. I am going to be putting it on this piece of like 32 count mystery even weave. And this is what I did Gobble Gob on. You'll see there's where I cut out Gobble Gob. It's that same piece of fabric. It's kind of a cream with some taupey modeling. And I think it'll look really great. And I'm doing mostly called for threads for this. I did convert some of the called for weeks to Classic Colorworks. So instead of Charlotte's Pink, I'm using House Wine. Instead of Fathom, I'm using Wavy Navy. And instead of Red Rocks, I'm using Barn Door. There's my color and flosses for Cross Stitch Nation. It's gonna look pretty good. I'm excited to work on that. Have that started. All right, what's up next? Up next is Summer at Cherry Hill. This is going to be a stitch along with Deborah from Stitch the Stash. So this is Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais. Love that. And I'm going rogue, and it's either going to work out fantastic or not. Because for fabric, I have chosen this 32 count Cherry Pit Brown by R&R. So it is mauve. It is like a dark taupey mauve for sure. And so I am using all the called for colors except the main color in this. So the main color is this chili pepper color of her dress and the letters. And I am going instead with Briar Rose. But all the rest of the colors are the same. So there's all the colors. Lots of browns and greens and like a zillion shades of browns and greens, essentially. And a couple grays and taupe. But I think that they look amazing on this fabric, and I hope that it comes out how I envisioned it in my head. And that Briar Rose is looking really pink in this light, but it really is more of a like purpley. I think it's gonna look really good. I hope so. And I need to chat with Deborah and see which day she wants to start this, because we'll figure out a day so we can start it on the same day in May. I'm very excited because I bought that fully kitted up last summer. So that's been hanging around for a while, and I'm glad to have an excuse to start it. Okay, next up is Strutting Tom by Lindy Stitches. And I bought the full kit. So it came with the fabric for it. I mean, look how little he is. I'm excited because I might be able to just knock him out. And then it also came with the kit also came with the Weeks Dye Works threads. So it came with the fabric and the Weeks Dye Works threads, plus all the finishing stuff. And then you just had to get, look, I haven't even put this on a ring yet. You just had to get the DMC. So there's the DMC and the Weeks for Strutting Tom. And he's a for sure star because I finished Gobble Gob, which means I don't have a turkey whip at the moment. And that's a rule. I mean, for me, right? I mean, I won't put it up there with, you know, a universal rule like having red sampler, but for me, I always need to have a turkey whip going, I've decided, and I don't have one at the moment. All right, next up, Heartstring Samplery, Stitch or Die. And I'm going to be doing this as a stitch along with Leslie Hurley. So, yeah. I need to figure out if there's a certain day that she wants to start it. And maybe remind her that we're stitching that together. So these are the colors I picked. Some of them are called for, some of them are not. I just kind of went with what I thought I wanted, because you can see it's very like, this is apple cider. I know that I'm changing that cat to something black that I don't even have in here. Probably black coffee. But essentially, I just picked these colors. Some of these are the called for colors, some of them are not. And I'm using my little key fob from Daleen. And this is just a piece of color and cotton grab bag fabric that is really wrinkled and will need to be ironed before I start. So this is just another one of those pieces from those color and cotton grab bags I got last fall. And then there's the colors I plan on using. So, and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do where. And I know I'll pull some kind of black when I work on this for the cat. Because all cats need to be black, because I have a black cat. All right, that's stitch or die. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, 9. See, I felt like we were flying through this. 9th start for Mania will be heartstring samplery. A lot of heartstring samplery. Because I love Beth Twist. Okay, Advent Candles ornament set. And I'm starting this for my parents, so I really want to get started because I want to have the whole set done and be able to gift that to them before Advent. I am going to be doing this on, I thought this was going to be my first 40 count project before I inadvertently started that little Prairie Schooler little. So I have a piece of 40 count, I don't know, is this platinum? What is this? Yep, 40 count platinum. That I think should be plenty big for all of those. She calls for all Glorianas. Gloriana? She calls for all Gloriana silk. Nope. So I just pulled some colors from my stash that I thought would be good because it's mainly red, red, green, and brown. So I have Gentle Art Sable for the words. I pulled 2 different greens that look very similar to me. Weeks Dye Works Hunter and Blue Spruce and Turkish Red. And those are the main colors. There's a couple other colors for the candles, like just a few stitches in each one of some purple and pink. And I pulled a couple DMC for the candles. And then I'll need a white, which will probably be B5200. So those are the threads I pulled for the Advent candle set. And get those started so that I can bust those out in time for Christmas gift for my parents. And then the very last For Sure start is the one thing that I don't have kitted, really. And that is the Long and Winding Road. And I haven't kitted this up yet. I have several different fabric options that apparently aren't in here. But this shaker box I got for my birthday, and it's on order and will hopefully be here before May starts. But I don't want to pull fabric. The one I'm getting is the slate gray. I don't want to pull fabric and all the flosses. I have all the flosses that is called for in other projects on my spreadsheet. I know that I want to change this house to just be a gray house with a red door like our house. So that I know. And then the rest of this will probably be pretty similar. I may change this, the road, to like a black road. So I really need the fabric before I finish pulling flosses, and I don't want to pull the fabric until I see the box. So this is a For Sure start. It might end up being towards the end of the month, potentially, depending on when my shaker box comes. Okay, so that's it. That's the 10 that I will be starting For Sure. I have another, as I said, 23, 24-ish, 25 maybe, that I have all kitted up as possible starts. So I will record another video and maybe go through half of them and then do a third with the other half of possible starts. One of the things that you might not have seen that you were expecting to see was the color of winter, because I had talked about doing the color of winter as my leap day start. And when I chose cardinal points instead, I said, no fear, I really want to start color winter. I'll do that in Mania. The more I looked at it, it's such a big piece, and I love it. It's really special that when I did Seeking Refuge as my high tea start last week, I started thinking about the last 2 high tea starts for the year. So in January, high tea, I started also New Year, New Start. I started Farewell to Anger, Seeking Refuge in April. So there'll be one in July and one in October. And I think the color of winter is going to be my October high tea start because we'll be heading into rainy season, and I'll need a great piece like that to kind of get me through the dark, gray, rainy winter here in Seattle. So that's going to be the October high tea start. I still need to figure out what I'm doing for July. I don't know. Maybe a Christmas piece? I don't know. I'll figure it out. That is for another day. But so that's why you're not seeing Color of Winter. Color of Winter has been slated for October high tea. Those are the 10 that for sure will be getting started next month in Mania. I'm so excited. And I will be back later to show you some more possible Mania starts. Hope you guys are having a good week. Bye.